Welcome to the finale of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance's preparations and cutscenes. The beginning of the end, basically. It is time to finally face Ashnard at the endgame. Our final battle will be taking place at the beautiful Crimea Castle. The Crimean Royal Palace, located in the center of Melior, is famed for its beautiful gardens where the world seems at peace. But times have changed. Countless battles have raged in these idyllic confines, and a new Dark Lord now sits upon the throne. The palace itself has not suffered. It remains a study in dignity and elegance. Yet there is no peace on this day. A grim tension fills the air, engulfing all it touches in deafening silence. Within the heart of the palace sits the author of this war, Ashnard, King of Dayan. Ike, Supreme Commander of the Crimean Army, and Elincia, Princess of Crimea, have completed their battle preparations. Well, actually not really, because we're going to start the battle preparations now. Now, they spend a tense morning waiting for the decisive battle that will conclude their year-long odyssey. They wait for the beginning of the end. That is some very ominous dialogue, but it is the final chapter. Endgame, repatriation. This is a word that I didn't understand when I first played this game, but I do now. It refers to any kind of return for the most part, but in times of war, the term usually refers to the return of soldiers to their homeland. So it's very fitting that that is the title of this final chapter. Also, we have no cutscenes for the base, just the reports. And this, I believe, will be the last time we ever see this report screen. So, how fitting that Jill is our last MVP. And with that, we go straight to the base. I think I'll do the info conversations first, because there's quite a few of these. Friend, friend, and friend. There are friends everywhere. But this moment has been a long time coming. This feels kind of similar to Matthew and Jafar's supports back in FE7, but it's a little different though. Mist is too nice to hold grudges. Oh, there is, and I'm sure everyone is dying to know what that is, but it'll have to wait until the chapter itself. Now our other friends. In this case, it's our friends from the bird tribe. They're probably the best people to have on guard duty, actually. Wait, Phoenicis and Kilvas? I don't like where this is going. So, yeah. Nasala was saying he didn't have any reason to want to fight Ashnard, but then he saw the basement of that tower and realized exactly what he'd been doing to the people of Kilvas, and that can't stand. At least we're prepared for betrayal. Don't worry, Tivon might actually get that chance. It's actually kind of unfortunate that I will need to get you not killed, just heavily injured, on an alternate file, because Raisin has special boss dialogue with Ashnard, and it's one of the most important special boss dialogues of all of Ashnard's, so I want to show that at least once. But this conversation isn't quite over. Yeah, I feel it would get awkward if Nisala was there. Nice guilt tripping there. But it's pretty much true. Anyway, on to the third friend conversation. This is our allies from the Beast Tribe. Kind of wonder if they specifically specified a year in the Japanese version, or if it's a case of, I can't believe it's been a whole year since we were last in Viridian City. But we actually have someone a little unexpected here. Despite how huge he is, he's pretty good at sneaking up on people. So, it's you, not the king? Sadly, Kanagas doesn't take part in this chapter. I don't really know why, but we have Gifka. Sadly, you don't get to see Kanagas fight in this game. Yes, that also means you have the highest chance of dying, so... some honors that is. Yeah, it's been great having you two with us. And that's all the info conversations we have. Now, we do have some supports. I did end up getting Titania and Miss B, which is annoyingly a bit of mood whiplash at this point in the game. You'll see. Also shows the fact that going on a shopping trip right before attacking the head of an enemy army might not be a good time. Yeah, so this conversation is better done earlier in the game. Though at least we get a little bit more info on Eleanor. Kind of a nice moment between those two, but this is one that I wanted to make sure that I got, so Volk and Bastion A. I've read this conversation before on the Serenes Forest scripts, but I don't think I've directly seen it myself in-game. Conveniently, after one more chapter. So this is the real reason why Volk and Bastion have supports. This must be really serious, then. That's quite a bit, though not as much as you, asked Ike just to give him that one secret. Good thing Volk is still loyal to us. Don't know if I mentioned this before, but you can actually see Volk's mouth move underneath that face mask, which is actually a little creepy sometimes. Yes, it's coming to an end right now. Thankfully, you won't have to wait too much longer. So, I wonder what that is. We'll find out towards the end of Radiant Dawn. But look forward to that, because that is foreshadowing something very important. So, with all that done, now it's time for... I think I'll do this first, and as I said in the last chapter, I'm going to save and reset for a bit here. I need both Ike and Soren, how fitting, to gain speed in their last level up, so let's make sure that happens. Doesn't really matter what other stats they gain, as long as they gain 1 point of speed each. That's really all I need. So, Ike is now fully capped, and he's gonna get transfer bonuses to HP, Strength, Skill, Speed, and Defense for Radiant Dawn. Not like he really needs that, because he's already ridiculous to begin with in that game. And now, Soren, will you get as lucky to get speed on your first go here? Come on, Soren. Well, that's decent. Defense is not bad either. So now Soren's got his transfer bonuses secure. Now, I have a little bit more bonus experience, not a lot though. I could get Nephany 1 level, but that would mean I can't level up anyone else. Yeah, see, I don't think I'll be able to level up, in fact, Nephany costs exactly 200 bonus experience to level up once, whereas if I get Gatry to level 20, no, but Gatry can easily hit level 20 during the next chapter anyway. However, I might want to try and level up to Tanya here, because if she gains 1 point to both skill and speed, she'll have those capped, and that'll mean that she'll need to level up twice during endgame though, which could be a problem, but maybe I can get transfer bonuses on her. Mist, with the Ashnard staff, I feel pretty confident about her hitting level 20 during endgame, which normally doesn't happen, so that's pretty surprising. Stefan, like I said, I don't really care too much about Stefan's transfer bonuses. So, I guess I'll try and go for this. That will cost me most of my bonus experience, though. Okay, skill and speed. That is decent. I would have liked strength, but that's still pretty decent. So, that's both skill and speed capped. And I might actually use a few stat boosters on you, too. So, speaking of stat boosters, I'm going to go ahead and do something. Sell items. Now, there's a lot that I need to sell here, given that we're almost at the end of the game, but the first thing on my port of call to sell, I'm going to sell all of my bands. Nobody's really going to be getting much in the way of significant level... Actually, I might as well keep that on Mist. But other than that, no one's really going to be getting much in the way of significant level ups from now on, so I can safely sell all of my bands. These aren't going to be of any use during the trial maps either, because nobody can level up in the trial maps. The Night Ward I'll keep though, because that at least gives +2 to defense and resistance. Obviously, I'll keep all of the other accessories. Can't even sell the Night Ring, which is interesting. And now, I will spare you this because it's going to be really boring, but I'm going to go ahead and sell a whole bunch of weapons that I doubt I'll ever need. You know, if I could sell this occult, I probably would, but unfortunately I can't. So, while we're here, I guess I should just point out, the armory is selling pretty much everything you could ever want. So, silver sword, silver lance, silver axe, silver bow, stilettos, which are pretty good if you're using Volk, and some L tones. Might as well get an extra L thunder and an extra L wind, I guess. Also shine. And the shop is actually selling physics staves, though I doubt I'll need very many. I already have quite a few in storage. Let me just check something. So Elincia can probably drop that and go ahead and grab a, yeah, I've got quite a few of these. Sleep is kind of cool, but I might not use that here. I might actually have you take the Hamron staff, which Rayson should probably have. And then Mist will go ahead and take, I really want rescue on someone, though. But you're going to go ahead and take this, because obviously we want to use that now. Even though Fortify should be pretty much the same thing with Mist's insanely high magic stat. Elincia will... I guess you can trade the Recover Staff to Rayson for the moment. And you go ahead and take... Actually, no, wait. Rayson will take Rescue for now. And you'll Hamron that, and then you'll grab a... You'll take Recover back. Because, yeah, I do want to deploy Elincia in the final chapter. Mist should be okay. Yeah, she's probably just a vulnerary. Ike has an elixir, which is pretty good. Nephany. Okay, Nephany. You're gonna go ahead and take the lightning javelin. Jill, yeah, you are in desperate need of better weapons. What can you use, by the way? You are actually an S and X's. That actually took me back for a second. Oh, if only Irvan was obtainable in this game, but it's not. It's in the game's data, but it's not obtainable. So, let's see. What can you take on the axe front? I think Har has a tomahawk. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. May have to buy another silver axe for you, actually. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Might have raisins stock up on a couple of silver, although we already have a few silver lances in the convoy. Let's just get another silver axe. Maybe another 2 of these. I'm kind of low on decent axes. I wish you could buy killer weapons here, but you sadly can't. Yeah, you need more weapons, though. You'll take, and it just goes to show how insane the number of uses they give you on heal staffs is, that Soren still hasn't broken his. I mean, I could use Tornado, but actually, weight 5, what just weighing you down by 1? Let's just go ahead and take Elwind, although you having Bolting or Blizzard might not be a bad idea either. Let's maybe convoy that and go ahead and take a, maybe Bolting. And Gatry, you need something better. You probably need a Silver Lance. Let's take that. And I think you're fine with your Javelin, and I'm kind of fine with that setup, honestly, although maybe an Elixir might not be a bad idea on you. Ranulf has the other Elixir, which is kind of not that great at this point. Do you have any better Lances for you to use? Not much. I probably should have focused on raising your Lance rank a little bit more earlier in the game, but oh well. I guess you can take a, take another... Take one of Raisin's Silver Axes. And Sia's obviously fine. Volk is also fine. Stefan. I think I'm fine with that setup of weapons on Stefan, honestly. Although you could probably afford an Elixir, because you do tend to get hit a little bit sometimes. Ranulf is okay. Everyone else, are there any weapons that anyone has over here who I would rather have on other people? That Silver Lance on Joffrey probably should go to someone else. Okay, that's Short Spear. Let's go ahead and swap that out on Gatry for his Javelin. Although Tanith, if I have a spare slot, I might want to deploy Tanith here. Wait a minute, I have a full use spear. What the heck am I thinking? Why haven't I brought that on someone? That's only 1 less power, though. In that case, Gatry, go ahead and take the spear. And then Jill, I think, can use short spears. So let's take a short spear. That'll be good for you, and... You might as well take the Flame Lance. Your magic is decent enough for that. Maybe swap out the hand axe for a short axe. And yeah, it looks like everyone should be pretty much fine, although do I have any spare elixirs? I don't think I do. What I do have, however, is a Speed Wing, which Jill unfortunately needs to use here to cap her speed. So there's cap speed. Oh, and she couldn't have capped it with gaining 1 point of speed anyway because of her speed cap being 27. Anyway, there's Jill. She has pretty much everything capped that she needs. Now my other stat boosters. So I have 1 energy drop, 1 spirit dust, secret book, speedwing, a share icon, and 2 of these talismans. Okay, and a statue frag. So the statue frag might go to someone who, you know what? I'm gonna have Soren take the statue frag because that means that he'll be able to shove people more easily, and he won't be that hard to shove himself because 9 weight is still not that much. Also, I don't think I have anyone here who's likely to be capping their defense anytime soon. Yeah, I don't think Titania capped it at 23, so I might as well have Soren take the Draco Shield. Not that he's going to get attacked very much, but at least a little bit of extra insurance. You might as well take the Ashnard Icon as well. It's not like I can really improve Stefan's luck all that much. That at least gives you a bigger dodge rate with Ike. As for Gatry, I won't be able to cap your speed, I don't think. And as for the secret book, there's really not many people here who will be able to cap their skill with that, so I might as well give that to Mist, just to give her skill a little bit of a boost. I almost feel like selling it would be a bigger investment at this point, though, because, yeah, not like Mist's skill is all that impressive. Also, talismans, nobody here is gonna cap resistance, I don't think. Yeah, no, Ike's not close, because his resistance cap is like 22, I believe. Oh, Gatry could take a few of those. I was kind of thinking of dumping a few of them on Mist because she could maybe cap resistance, but in fact I don't think she's going to do that by the end of the game, so maybe Gatry could take a couple of those just to be a little bit tankier. And I guess take Siege Tones better. Yeah, sadly no cap there. And okay, Energy Drop, Spirit Dust, and I have one more speed. In fact, I actually have 2 more Speed Wings, because there's one that we get during the final chapter. But here's the problem, most people that I have already capped speed, so there aren't that many people I have to use that on. You know what, I guess, for the glory of extra glowing numbers on stat screens, might as well do that. And speaking of extra glowing numbers on stat screens, there's not many people that I could use the energy drop on either, although admittedly, yeah, let's use that on Titania. Probably getting more mileage out of that than on Stefan, because at least Stefan crits a lot to make up for his lower strength. Okay, now I need to use the Spirit Dust on someone, and again, most people who have decent magic have already capped it. Could use it on Jill for more damage with magic weapons, I guess. Or I could use it on Elincia for +1 range to all of her long-range staves, which might actually help out a lot, so I feel like I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that is +1 range on all of her range staves. And that's all the stat boosters. Now, I'm not going to sell any of the door keys or chest keys just in case they're usable in the trial maps. I forget if there are chests there, but I know there are doors there, so the door keys are going to be helpful. Also, yeah, Occult Scroll is, I really don't know what to do with the Occult Scroll. It is the only skill scroll that we have left. If I removed Shade, Mist could get Soul. It's not like it's really a big deal, and in fact, it's going to, forgot about something. Since I spent so long last chapter trying to ensure this happened, don't want to forget that now. Arm Scroll. Sword rank up, and now, as much as I kind of like your personal forged sword, take that. 36 attack power, which is pretty good by Mist standards. In fact, it's almost as good. In fact, it's only slightly worse than Soren's attack power with a Forged Thunder Tome, which is pretty nice. So, that's gonna be pretty useful. I forgot the Rune Sword is A-ranked, though, so she'll need to rank it up once more somehow in order to be able to use that. Yeah, what I was saying with Soul is that Mist can't trigger that with magic swords at range, so yeah, that could be not so useful. Also, no reason not to use all my bonus experience. So yeah, I could get rid of Shade, but I do kind of like Shade as well. Or I could give that to you, even though you're not likely to be fighting much, just because. I said in Volk's bio that you might as well give him lethality, because it's not like there's much competition for occult scrolls anyway, and lethality is at least better than nothing. It's not great, but it's better than nothing, and it's certainly better than a lot of other occult skills in this game. Oh yeah, you can't even get Roar. And I could give you Roar, I guess. Huh. Might not be that bad of an option, actually. But Mist having Soul is also kind of funny, even though it's not really going to be useful. that much. Speaking you know what, I'm just going to do this. Just because I use left for a lot of the game, it's only natural to give her a little bit of attention at the very end. So you get that. Okay, now... I have a whole ton of gold that's not going to be doing me any good after this point, so I might as well just stock up on a bajillion things that I'm probably never going to use. Although, first things first, I should make a forge weapon, and I'm really not sure what kind of forge weapon I should make here. I really wanted to forge a tome called Vicious Mockery, but I doubt that would fit. You know what? Though I do only have one forged javelin, and I forge quite a lot of hand axes, although I don't have any forged hand axes currently. I do have the tomahawk, But I guess this might be more useful than the forged javelin in the long run. Let's go for this. And just because I can, I'm going to minimize the weight. And yeah, that's not much gold at all. So you might think this is weird and that I'm ripping off weapon names from other Fire Emblem games, but there is a method to my madness here. There is unused data suggesting that the Hauteclair was planned to be in Path of Radiance. There's an unused name among the list of other weapons, although it actually is in the swords list, not the axes list, but... yeah, this weapon that ended up becoming, and I might say this for the trial maps though, this weapon that ended up becoming Minerva's weapon in Shadow Dragon, the name originated in Path of Radiance's unused data, so I'm referencing that here. Well, you know, I guess I might as well buy a bajillion physics staves. Okay, I've spent most of my gold on silver weapons that I'll probably never use, but I want to leave a little bit because, like I said, there are some doors to open in the trial maps, and I'm not sure if Volk still charges you gold for the trial maps or not. He actually might, and I don't want to have the embarrassing situation of not being able to open a door or chest with Volk during the trial map, so I'm going to save a little bit of gold for that. So, that should be, other than loading up Racing with a few extra things that I want to bring. Like, for example, an extra physics staff. Guess Blizzard as well. Yeah, I think we're just about ready. That should be everything here now. Anyway, time to save here. Guess I kind of want to show my playtime here going into the final chapter. Almost 40 hours exactly. And let's head out to the final battle. If you've forgotten anything at the base, don't worry, you can still go back to the base on the preparation screen for the final chapter. I love that moment. Elincia's just come so far. This game has really been about both Ike and Elincia's growth, and it's just the perfect lead-in to how Elincia is in Radiant Dawn. Ike said it best. And great Ike and Ranulph banter as always. We'll be seeing a lot more of that in Radiant Dawn, by the way. But there's one more thing we have to do before we march. This hasn't just been Elincia's story, and Ike's come a long way too. So you actually have a choice of whether to do this or not, but heck yeah, I'm gonna do this. Not only is this a fantastic moment, but I'm gonna go completely quiet here because this song is amazing. And we finally get to see that scene from the opening movie. And we immediately cut to a villain scene. This is also a very interesting scene. Well, that's exactly what we want. No one will have Major Day in Blood ever again! I wonder what kind of bonuses that would give to growth now I think about it, but yeah, let's just, let's focus on the situation at hand here. That's the most we'll get on Ashnard's motivations unless you have him attack Rayson. I will be showing that conversation because that fleshes things out a little bit more. So, this is why I find this conversation so interesting. I said this game kind of has two Camus archetypes. The first was Jeharam, Bryce is the second one. Bryce has the whole undying loyalty even though his ruler is obviously evil thing going on. However, the interesting thing about Bryce is that, as we see here... Also, we get a bit of confirmation as to exactly how long Bryce has been doing this for. Put your hands up if you didn't see that coming. I didn't think so. Also extremely obvious. Yeah, not hard to figure that all out. Also, it wasn't just them. They did mention a plague earlier, and there was quite a lot of collateral damage involved in Ashnard's bid to seize the throne, as we'll eventually find out. And he doesn't care, like, for any of the lives that cost at all. So, this is why I find this interesting. These lines from Ashnard right here, they basically deconstruct the entire Camus archetype. A lot of people complain about them for the exact same reasons Ashnard says, but I just kind of love how Ashnard flat out tells Bryce to his face, look, I'm evil. Really evil. I killed my father. And then Bryce is like, yeah, but I'm still a knight, I'm still loyal to you. And then Ashnard is like, wow, you are such an idiot. Ashnard voices a lot of the complaints the fandom has with the Camus archetype long before those complaints were even a thing. This is also a conversation that I find quite interesting. Well, not least because we finally get to see angry Elincia, which is a very rare image. It's easy for the player to forget this because they've seen him this whole game, but Ike has never met Ashnard face to face. Up until this point, Ike had no idea what he looked like. So this must be pretty intimidating actually seeing him for the first time. Elincia has definitely seen him before though. And I wish Elincia had a weapon that could hurt Ashnard. Unfortunately, she doesn't. They're going to explain that in a bit here. I thought flying units weren't able to smite. Of course you're more interested in that. I remember when I first played this game, I completely freaked out when I read this line because I wasn't able to beat the Black Knight, and I was thinking this fight was going to be unwinnable. But this fight is actually not that bad. Unlike that one, Ike has a bit of help here, it's not entirely a solo fight. Dragons and one other character can also damage Ashnard. I actually feel like the reason they gave you that extra occult scroll back in chapter 27 was in case you don't have Ether on Ike by then, because you're unlikely to have used that by now, so if you don't have that skill yet, you could easily just go back to the base and give it to Ike, and that makes Ashnard a lot easier. And that's a great line from Ike there. Kind of. They're still pretty pathetic apart from the Dragon Lagoos. That line is impossible to take seriously in light of Radiant Dawn. But yes, as you can see, there are Feral 1 dragons back here. Also, one general there who looks a little different from the others. We've got a pretty big map here as well, but that doesn't mean it's devoid of terrain either. I'll be talking more about how I feel about this chapter once we actually get into the battle. And with that, the end begins now.